Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Quinton here, and this is tutorial number 43, and in this tutorial we are going to take a look at styling our tables. Okay, so I've actually gone back to the code from my introduction to tables tutorial. So basically we have the same table as we had in that video, which looks like this. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and actually start using the CSS file and style this table. So the first thing I want to do is actually get rid of this border 1 attribute, because we can actually use CSS to put our border onto the page. Okay, and actually if I keep that there for a second, you guys will notice that this border over here right now is kind of like a duplicate border. So we've got two lines. We've got one line around the entire table, and then we've got a border around our actual cell, so it like lands up in that duplicate border. Okay, so what we can do to get rid of that is go over to our table. So we're going to style our table just by selecting it by the tag, and we can use this property called border collapse, and then we can just set that equal to collapse, just like that. Okay, and when we save this now and go back to Firefox and click refresh, you can see that all those borders have just collapsed. So instead of having like that double border that we had a moment ago, we now have a single border around every cell, and that obviously just looks so much better. Okay, then the next thing we can do is go back over to CSS, and like I said, let's get rid of this border, because we can actually add that border in on with CSS. So if I go over to my table over here and I just add in a border of 1 pixel solid black, it's probably going to look exactly the same, or so you guys think it's going to look the same. But when I click refresh, you can see that actually only adds a border around the outside of the table. So we still need to add a border around our table headers and our table cells. So to do that, we just go ahead and grab our table header, and I'm going to place in a comma here, because this just means I'm going to select more than one tag at a time. And so I'm going to place in TD, so that's going to select all table headers and table data, and we're just going to go ahead and actually add in this exact same rule, border of 1 pixel solid black. When I go back and click refresh now, you can see our table looks pretty similar to what it was looking like before. Okay, but obviously something we might want to do now is actually just increase the readability of this table. Okay, so one thing that would make this table look a lot better is if we had a little bit of padding in between our cells. So let's go padding of maybe 10 pixels. Okay, and that's just going to add some space between the borders and the actual text within the cell. So when I click refresh, you can see we now have quite a lot of space around our actual wording over here. And in fact, that is probably too much, so maybe 5 pixels will do. So click refresh, and okay, that looks pretty cool. But you know what, this table is actually still kind of bland, because there are a few more things that we can do to actually make this table a lot more readable. And the first thing we can actually do is, if we go back over to HTML, there are a few more tags that we can actually add to this table. Now the first one is the table header tag. So you might think, okay, TH stands for table header, but we can actually group all of these headers into one big table head by adding this tag over here called T-head. And I'm going to actually just indent all of that and come back here and T-head. Okay, so this stands for the table head. Then for the rest of our table, we can actually include that all in the table body. So in fact, what I'm going to do is surround that that entire row with the table head tag, because that's actually just a lot better. So just like that, okay. And then the rest of our table can actually be the table body. So oops, man, I am stuffing up. Okay, caps lock off, T body. Okay, and like I said, that can be the rest of our table. So we can end that off over there with T body. And there's actually one more tag that we can place in here, and you guys probably guessed what it is already, but that is T foot, and that is the actual footer of our table. And I don't really have anything to place in here, so I'm probably just gonna go ahead and say TR, and we'll just say info. Well, actually we have to put this in a table data tag, and I'm going to give that a col span of 4. So col span equals 4, just so that it spans over all the rest of the columns in the table. And I'm going to just say here info from Wikipedia, just to give our actual table a Wikipedia. I guess I spelled it wrong, but just to give it an actual footer. So, you know, if we go ahead and save this now, that doesn't really change the look of our table just yet, but we do have this extra footer in here now. Okay, and what we can do now is use CSS to actually style those new tags that we put into this table. So for my T head, I could decide, well, hey, I really want the header of this table to have a background color of some sort of blue, but I can't think of a blue color at the moment. So I'm going to give that a background color of hashtag CCDDEE. And now my table head should have a background color of blue. So when I come back here and click refresh, we've got this really light blue, almost gray looking blue background over here. Then for our footer, we could go ahead and give that a color as well. So I'm going to go back to Notepad, and we'll go ahead and grab our footer, so T foot, and I could probably give that a background color of something else, DDCCEE, so kind of that thing, just the opposite way around. And this is going to make sort of a purpley pink, very light color. So now we have a different color for our table footer, and we could actually center this text as well by just going text align center, and then that'll be in the center. And the last thing we can do is we could style our body and actually give our entire body a different color, but I'm kind of fine having it as white. But it would be nice if every second row in this table actually had a different color. Wouldn't that be nice? So we can go back to Notepad++ and maybe just above that table header, just because I don't want to overwrite those style rules, I'm going to put it above the table header, the table header, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the table row, but I want to grab the nth child. So I have a tutorial on the nth child selector already, if you guys haven't seen that. And I'm going to grab the second row of every second row of the table, and that's what that 2n means. Okay, and we're just going to give that a different background color as well. So background color, and I'm going to give that a background color of AO, and that is going to be a sort of gray color. So when we save this now and come back to Firefox and click refresh, you can see that every second row in our table has turned gray. Our footer is kind of like this pink color, and our header is that blue color, and we also centered the text in our footer table or table cell. Okay, so that is how you would style a table using CSS. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys in this video, so don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, or share this video. It's really going to help my channel grow, and I will see you guys in the next one.